The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott, is the new film that is out now for you guys to go and watch. It's in theaters. And I tell you what, this movie is all about the knights back in the 1300s. So if you're into knights and that time era, you're going to love this movie because it's set in that. We follow three main characters, and this story is told by three different points of view of events that happen. This is based on a true story. And it's bonkers. So I'm going to tell you guys my thoughts on this movie. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it in the comments below. Smash that like button for me as well. And click subscribe. And without further ado, let's jump into this review of The Last Duel. Okay, so The Last Duel, directed by Ridley Scott. I love Ridley Scott as a director. He's one of my favorite directors of all time. He has given me some fantastic films like Gladiator, like these other films that he has done. So I was naturally so excited for The Last Duel when I saw his name attached to it. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of Prometheus and that he did. We'll just push that one aside. But I watched the trailer for this, and this was so exciting to me. I was so interested in the mysterious aspect of this particular film, about what was going on, and being in that time era and just how everything was going to unfold. The trailer looked absolutely amazing. So I was super excited for this, and I tell you what, it fucking delivered. Ridley Scott delivered. I love this film so much. I thought this film was incredible. Absolutely incredible. And you got to start with the performances. Oh my God. The performances in this film are freaking world class. Outstanding. Holy crap, they are freaking good. And it's needed. If you don't have the performances of these actors in this film, it falls apart and you don't get that emotional attachment that Ridley Scott was looking for. Ben Affleck was absolutely outstanding in this film. He was so good. His character was so funny, so awesome. It was just portrayed so great. He was enough where he was an ass, but he was also that very menacing figure where you're like, yeah, you don't want to cross that guy because he's going to fucking screw you over if you do. He was incredible. Matt Damon. Everyone knows what Matt Damon's like. I love him in The Martian. He is one of the reasons why I love The Martian so much, because of his performance in that. His performance in this is incredible. It's just so good because it's told from three different points of views. So three characters, we tell it from there, three different points of view. So he's got to play this same character from three different points of view. And it's incredible how he does that. It's phenomenal. He is fantastic. And because of his performances, I'm attached to his character as well. And the writing is so incredible for these characters. So incredible. Adam Driver. God, this guy is just world class. I love watching Adam Driver do his craft. He is incredible. So freaking good in this movie. I just love him. And he made me love his character as well. And then we get to Jodie. She's just incredible in this movie. Like, I mean, wow. Because there is some scenes in here where she needs to be at her best to bring that emotion and to make me really feel that, wow, that was powerful. And she does it so many times, constantly throughout this film, that just makes me just fall in love with her character and fall in love with her acting. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. The writing is incredible in this film. It's brilliant. I really like the way he told this story. Look, I'm going to be completely honest. I know some people aren't going to like this film, and the way that it's told, some people aren't going to like it. And I get that. I did like it from the three different points of views. I thought it was really good. And what Ridley Scott did really well is he didn't rehash the whole story every time. He cut out scenes that didn't need to be there from the first one. So we get a full painted picture from the first point of view, and then he goes to the next character, and he changes certain scenes, and that's what we see. And I thought that was incredible how he did that, because coming towards the end of the duel, when you figure out and piece everything together, because there's always two sides to every story, and when you piece it all together and you're like, yo, holy crap. And when you get to that final duel, I have never been as invested in a duel in a long time. I was on the edge of my seat. I felt like I was there. What he did was he told it in the way where you feel like you're in a court and you're the jury and you're watching this all unfold, hearing it from different points of views, putting it together. And when you get to that final duel, it's insane because you're so invested after going through this story. You're so invested in that fight that you're on the edge of your seat because you're rooting for certain characters where you're like, come on, you got to do it. You got to do it. And that fight is just, there's so much narrative in that fight. It's so freaking good. The cinematography is outstanding. The locations are gorgeous. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. It's beautiful to look at. Absolutely beautiful. There is some great camera work in here as well that I really thoroughly enjoyed as well. The action sequences where the battles and stuff like that were taking place were brilliant. I really thoroughly loved it. It is brutal as well. You see the blood and the gore and stuff like that, which is what I was hoping to see. We saw all that. The soundtrack, the theme, the score, brilliant. Absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Wow. So good. Granted, this is a long movie. It's 2.5 hours long. And I can understand why some people would find this feeling long. Because there are certain points where I do think that it does drag a little bit as well. I didn't mind it. It wasn't too bad for me, but I could see why some people would have that problem. And I can totally understand that. Totally understand. Now we get to there's some pretty brutal scenes in here. Not going to lie. There is scenes in here that are necessary. And if you have read anything about this story or this movie or anything like that, you know that there is allegations of sexual assault in this film. There are scenes involving that. So if you're sensitive to that stuff and you have had experiences in life or anything like that, just be warned when going into this movie, you do see those scenes. They're not particularly long and drawn out, but they are necessary for the story because remember, this is people accusing people of something. So we need to see whether this happened or not. Because if you just go to the door, close the door, and then boom, that's it, then we don't know what actually happened, which then you lose the impact to that final battle because you need it in this film. So you've been warned that there is scenes like this in here. So be mindful of that. If you're uncomfortable with those sort of things, I would suggest maybe probably not watch it or anything like that. But it's not necessarily a long one, and they don't necessarily take all their clothes off or anything like that. It's not as brutal as some that I've seen in certain movies. But this is necessary for the story and for getting you even more invested in that final battle, which is all what is basically this whole story leading to, is that final duel between our two main characters. Well, there's three main characters, but between the two male leads, which it's just insane. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I love this movie so much. I actually had a freaking ball with it. I would highly recommend checking out The Last Duel. It's incredible. I think there's going to be some Oscar nominations for actors in here. They were all incredible. I would be shocked if Jodie doesn't get one. She was outstanding in this. She deserves a nomination. I think Matt Damon deserves one as well. Adam Driver deserves one as well. It's going to be insane to see because there's still a lot of movies coming out with awards and stuff like that as well. It's going to be tight this year, I think. But this is a great movie, incredible movie, very powerful, very powerful. I think this was very powerful, especially towards, because we know the era. Women didn't have a lot of rights back then in that era. They were seen as like nothing. So this movie is very powerful because it shows the power of what happens in this movie. It's just incredible. I would really suggest check it out for yourself. So let me know in the comments below, what did you guys think of The Last Duel? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Smash it down in the comments below. Smash that like button for me. Click subscribe as well. And I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, stay safe. Peace out.